Hey folks, Kilt-Man here. Kilt-Man at your service. Kilt-Man wearing the rather luxurious Patriot tartan. This is the Patriot, full of blues and purples and reds. Very vibrant. This is like a berry burst, a big orgasmic explosion of colour and ripeness. It's very nice, it's lovely. I'm also wearing German World War II tanker boots with Mad Max's little bosun's naval whistle from Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. I've done this look before, of course I have. Anyway, hey, how you all doing? I hope you're all very well, very well. Spring has sprung in the UK now. It's, okay, it rained today, but it's been really, unseasonably warm, which is great for a vest-wearing, kilt-wearing maniac like myself, who likes to thrust his flesh to the elements and cares not a jot about the cold and the wind and the rain. Anyway, believe it or not, this video is going to be slightly different because I've only ever done a couple of videos where I've spoken about current events, and you're all going to go, oh, fuck off. If it's not movies, Kilt-Man, we don't want to know. Well, sometimes, it's only sometimes, real life actually piques my interest. It isn't often, trust me. But this is something I thought, well, hang on a minute. I want to gauge people's opinions upon this. Now, it's big news at the moment in the UK, possibly worldwide as well. Well, it is worldwide. Northern Syria, ISIS, Daesh, yes, those bastards are on their knees, apparently. Their fighters, their so-called caliphate is on its knees. Coalition-led airstrikes and Syrian fighters have fought back town by town, village by village, and they've gotten cornered. There's only a handful of them left, really. But that's the point of this is in the UK there was a very famous story, and it's really rife at the moment, of the 15-year-old Muslim girl who, with two school friends, in 2014 I think, took themselves off to northern Syria, having been radicalised online with those seductive ISIS videos. I've seen their videos. They ain't seductive. And they went over there to marry Daesh fighters and become these ISIS brides. This particular girl, and I always forget her name, it's I've got it written here, Shamima Begum. She was 15 at the time, she's 19 now. One of her friends was killed in an airstrike. Her other friend is still alive, but this girl is now in a northern Syria refugee camp, having fled from the town, which is now utterly surrounded and about to be annihilated. And she wants to come back home to the UK. She lost 2 children to this guy. She now has given birth. Only the weekend just gone, so only a few days ago, did she give birth to this 3rd child. And this one's alive. And the father is dead. He was an ISIS fighter. He's been killed. He was a Dutch national who went over there to fight for ISIS, and she now wants to come back. Now, it's causing a rife load of controversy in this country. I say controversy. If you're on the news, you go controversy. I fucking hate that. It's controversy. In my head, it's controversy, and out of my lips, it's controversy. And she wants to come back home. Her family are pleading with the UK government to bring her back and let her, she's a. Well, it's the thing. She's not apologised at all. She was 15 after the horrific events of the Jamie Bulger murder, which happened not far from where I was living at the time, and I was in Kirkdale in Liverpool, and 11-year-old boys killed a 3-year-old infant called James Bulger in the most horrific ways imaginable, and it rocked the world. But it changed the law as well, so that from the age of 10, You were deemed to be able to tell right from wrong and know what you were doing was right, lawful, legal, or was insanely fucking completely, unlawful and barbaric. So this girl was 15, coerced, indoctrinated, some would say brainwashed into going over there by ISIS propaganda. And she goes over, and she's not repentant about what she did over there. No, I'm not saying she did anything. I don't think she didn't kill anyone. I'm pretty certain about that. She just cooked the food and washed the pots and pans for the guy that did do all the beheadings and other sundry barbarism. And now, obviously, she wants to come back home because the writing's on the wall. It's over. What can she do? I want to come back home now. The UK should accept me back because the UK is a fucking big soft touch, isn't it? Well, in a rather great moment, and there are very few and far between in this country, trust me, Home Secretary Sajid Javid said, no, I'm revoking your British citizenship. Now, she has Bangladeshi citizenship, British, and there's somewhere else. I think the case is very complicated. I think it's because of the son. Her newborn son had Dutch heritage because of his father, Bangladeshi because of hers, and obviously British heritage. So that complicates things. In her case, her son could be brought back. I might be wrong about certain facets of this, but things are changing on a daily basis. There was more news come out today. But anyway, her son could feasibly be brought back and looked after in social services and be taken care of. She would be effectively rendered without a country. So nationality less. If she's not, because she's lost her British citizenship, she could now be, well, who knows, in limbo. Now, so there's a bit of an outcry. I wouldn't say it's a huge outcry in her defence. Her family has a great lawyer who's saying, well, all the obvious things like, this is not fair. She's a British citizen. She has every right to, apologise for her sins. And yet the thing is, she's not apologised. She's not. We had the Manchester bombings. Women and children were killed by an ISIS, supporter, an ISIS soldier, a jihadi, and she said they were justified. Now, if you read into it, she said it was wrong that innocent people lost their lives, but it's happening over there with our coalition airstrikes. Women and children, innocent women and children, are being killed. So it was justified as retaliation. It's hard to reconcile that one. But she is trying to justify what she's saying. But the unrepentance for going out there, she's very articulate. She's intelligent. The girl knows what's going on. She knows what's happened. She's witnessed all sorts of things. She's brought 3 kids into the world, but lost 2 of them. Another weird thing is that the child that she now has, she had the name that she's given it is the name of a jihadi warlord, which her husband, the father of the child, idolised. Now I could be wrong about this, but I have seen reports saying the name. I'm going to find out the name of this child because I can't quite remember it. Let me just see if it's here. I may well be wrong. I can't find it. Jara, or is it Yara? I don't know how you pronounce it, but Jara. Now, I saw a report stating that actually means, translated, means he who wounds. This is a girl that wants to come back to this country. She's now 19. Wants to come back to this country. I don't pose any threat, she says. What threat am I? You've got a jihadi warlord, ISIS, barbarian fighter's son, which you're bringing in, and you've named him after a jihadi warlord. not setting a good example right from the word go, is it? Hey, stay in Syria, stay in a country which supports this sort of thing. Stay there, just stay there. In this country, we don't support it. Why come back? You turned your back on the values of this country. You made up your mind and turned your back on the values of this nation. Did you not? You joined someone who was violently opposed to anything in the Western world. In fact, anyone that wasn't ISIS. You joined them. That's what you wanted. That's what you got. Well, you made your bed. You better lie in it, So, I'm stuck in this Syrian refugee camp. I want to come home. I want to come and see my mum and dad and my family and all this, yeah. And it's all well and good, the family posing with a fucking teddy bear with, like, I don't know, is it a Chelsea football top on the teddy bear? Oh, fuck off. Well, I can't blame them for wanting to bring their daughter back home. Who wouldn't? If it's your flesh and blood. I say that. I've never been in a situation where my son and my daughter, and I have one of each, has turned their backs on the values that I and my family and most people I know hold dear, and joined a radical organisation to wreak terror, havoc and pain and suffering. But I know myself, and this may sound harsh, but if they did do that of their own volition and were unrepentant, I'm afraid I would think, I could be wrong, but they'd be gone to me, dead to me. Now, I know that sounds really, fucking hard line, and, in reality, it's still your flesh and blood. So I kind of do, the family are going to do what they're going to do, and they're going to employ the best lawyers. And of course, the best lawyers in the world are going to want to do this because for them, this sort of case is a fucking showboat, isn't it? It's glory boating. You could set precedent with this. You could, of course you could. So it's going to make their name. This is why, lawyers defend fucking serial killers and all sorts of, the world's fucking detritus, the world's scumbags. This is why they do it. They're going to make a lot of money out of it, and they're going to make their name. That's the job. That's what they do, of course. So, we have an argument that, she's only a kid. Bring her back home. But she poses a danger. I think she poses a danger because she's got a lot in there. She's seen a lot. She's witnessed a lot. She knows her tactics. She has contacts. And this is the other thing, of course. Just because they've revoked her citizenship to the UK, don't go thinking the British officials, the Secret Service, are not going to be plaguing her for the rest of her fucking life. Because they will be. They are going to grill her no matter where she is in the world. Because she has so much intel on the way that Daesh worked. Contacts, things that she's seen and witnessed will speak volumes to people in the know. She's going to dot the I's and cross the T's and piece little bits together. So she will fucking well not be left alone. I guarantee you that. But news come out today which does throw a bit of a spanner in the works of this. And I kind of thought twice about doing this video because A, it's not what I normally do. And I'm not a political sort of person. I'm a military-minded sort of person, and I despise, terrorism in every form, and so I can be quite volatile about that. But apparently the UK, again, I'm only going on news reports and what was on the radio and on the TV today. We've already let 400 actual fighters back into the UK. No, these aren't brides, these are actual fucking fighters. So we're not letting her back in, but we let the actual killers come back in? The fuck is that about? Well, I'll tell you sort of what I think it's about. As I said before, if you bring them back, you can keep and you know who they are, you can keep tabs on them, and they can expose cells and infrastructure around the world, around Europe, around, all around the world. They could expose links and contacts. So it's a risk, but it's a risk that the British government and, well, many governments are prepared to take to keep tabs on these people and nip operations and attacks in the bud, but also find the greater chain, the greater structure. So why stop at this girl? Why suddenly stop this girl? Well, I'm afraid I think that would be politics. Politics definitely comes into this one, because it's now being touted that it's the end of ISIS. They're on their knees. They're in the rubble. There's only a handful of them left. So it's trying to make a big political statement. Look, no. She's trying to get back. We're stamping him out, and we're not going to bring her back. I'm going to tell you something now. You ain't stamping shit out. ISIS is not an army. It's not a big, huge fucking machine. It's not a battleship that you can destroy. It's not an army you can wipe out. Sadly, it's an ideology. One of the most horrific ones the world's ever encountered, but it is an ideology. And it could spring up at absolutely anywhere, at any time, anyone, in any street, any shop, any port, town, city, nightclub can ignite and perpetrate in the name of ISIS the most horrific deeds. And that is the truth of it. So these things come in cycles. Terrorism will never go away. There's always someone that fights against the rule of authority and and I'm not defending the UK's foreign policy or American foreign policy. Am I fuck? No. We have caused almost all the shit that's ever happened. It's coming back in our face. But, I'm still going to side with us. I am. Of course I am. Of course I fucking am. I'm ex-forces, so of course I'm going to fucking do. Of course I'm going to side with our military, our ethics, our morals, our democracy. Yeah. And if anyone's taken any note of, Trump in America, Theresa May and the Conservatives, and Brexit in the UK, the downfall of Labour, which is happening right now before our very fucking eyes, we're seeing the birth of a whole new political party, dubbed the Independent Group. But it's all everything's in flux, everything's changing. But back to my main point, we went into so many cultures, so many countries with the idea of creating more Englands, more Britain, an empire. We did a lot of good in some places, but we did unfathomable bad as well. So what goes around inevitably is going to come around. And this was fought. There's no way that this retaliation was not going to happen. But what frightens us, of course, is that it's the likes of Mrs. Smith down the road, who's 68 years old, goes to the greengrocer in the morning and gets, to buy the vegetables and, tea for Mr. Smith, who's retired as well and got a bad back and has a stand of stair lift, and she gets knifed to bits by some jihadi extremist. So it's that aspect which is abhorrent to all of us, where yes, airstrikes go in, innocent people are killed. Well, they're calling it a war, so it's a war. People die in a war. But we're not going out and knifing innocent people to bits, purposely targeting you, and I'm going to knife you to bits on the street. Or I'm going to behead you on camera so all your family can see. Another thing, I don't know if you're aware of this, but ISIS took atrocities to a whole new fucking level. They didn't just behead people, oh god no. They turned them into human missiles, they would strap them to bombs and drop them off high buildings so they explode. They put them in cages and drown them slowly. They set them on fire. Of course, they film all this. They film it all. They had a bunch of prisoners in the ubiquitous orange jumpsuits in the desert, and they were like chained up, and they had a line of explosives round their necks, all linked. Boom, 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 all their heads blew off. They're having fun. It's like they've watched every fucking video nasty the world's ever known, and they're just gonna, well, we can go one better than that. You know, these guys are having mega fun. They're chucking homosexuals off the roofs onto stony ground. They skin people alive. Have you heard this one? This one is the one that, when they took over Syria and Iraq and other places, and they storm into these cities, and everyone's waving the black flags like, oh God, because like, shit, if we don't do this. But if you didn't kowtow to them, you'd have poor guys crucified and wrapped up in barbed wire, alive, and they would make that guy or that woman's family stone them to death. And if they didn't do it, then in front of them they would be beheaded or their throats cut. So this is the culture that this girl went out to join and embrace, and has not denounced at all. So, and she wants to go back to our shore, our streets. Bear in mind, I don't care what her fucking nationality, her ethnic background is. White, black, fucking, you know, purple, fucking, I don't know, Oompa Loompa. I don't give two flying fucks where you stem from. It's what you do with your life. I have friends of every single culture, every nationality, every creed, every race, and I love them. You know, of course I do. So this does not play a part in what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it doesn't matter who or what you wear or where you came from. It's what you do with your life. And she did terrible things. Maybe not to anybody. Well, there's no proof either way, but you went enjoying people that did. I don't want you in my house having a cup of tea and telling me about what you did. No. And nor should anybody want you back. Your own family maybe, but so it's a volatile and difficult topic. Of course it is. I know that. I appreciate that, and it's not something that Kilt-Man normally would address. He says, playing the Delta Force theme. But you know, you need to take a step back and think what's going on. And it's easy for, and I'm not going to go, oh, they're soft liberal fucking lefties and all that. Like, I'm not saying that at all. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, of course they are. But people use these situations for their own political means, and this one is going to really fucking rage on with political fucking ideology and tremendous fucking, you know, empirical governmental clout. And of course, you know, human rights are going to come into it. Human rights? What about the rights of the people that they captured and tortured? You know, it's not. You know, two wrongs don't make a right, of course. But I don't think this girl deserves to come back home. But she deserves to be followed, watched, and interrogated at every fucking moment. Her child is completely innocent, of course. Of course, absolutely innocent. Do you think for one glistening, shining moment that she is going to embrace the religions and the culture and the aspects of life and world outlook that she left behind for her son? Do you? Do you? If you think she is, then, you know, oh, say so. Say so. I don't know. I don't think so myself because of her words and her reactions so far. And she's not just spouting rhetoric. She's clearly an intelligent girl. So, you know, isn't that even slightly scarier? That she kind of knows what she's doing and she's unrepentant and, you know, look, I know I'm asking a lot. I want to come back to this country. My family is there. My child, you know, my child. I mean, I can't bring up a child in this refugee camp because it's, you know, it's not healthy. It's unhygienic. It's dangerous here. So please, take me back. What have I done wrong? Well, so anyway, Kilt-Man just thought he'd mention a bit of current news. I'm drinking tea. I'm going to have some proper videos even later on tonight because fuck this. I have been out drinking and partying way too much. Hey, you know, the decadence of the Western world. Yeah, well, fuck you. I work for a living. I make money. I go and spend it doing what I want to do. Having fun. Drinking whiskey. And being a friendly barbarian. A very sociable, laugh-a-minute barbarian. In pubs and clubs. So, please let me know what you think about this because, you know, once in a while, Kilt-Man does have a bit of an in touch with reality. It's not often. I don't like it. Real life is a fucking bind. Of course it is. But occasionally these things do flare up. And, you know, everyone has an opinion. They're like arseholes. Everyone's got one, you know? So, I'm not saying that mine's right. And I'm not being... If it comes across as hard line, then to some people I apologise. It's not meant to. It's just the way I feel. But please, you know, let me know your differing viewpoints, if your viewpoints do differ. And the 400 bastards that are already back home, fucking better behave yourselves. They will, because they're being watched. You can guarantee that. So yeah, Kilt-Man, current affairs, globetrotting journalist, you know. Right, folks. Anyway, I'm gonna jet off now and drink my tea, eat something because I've eaten nothing. Probably do a bit of a workout because, you know, I've been lax of late. I mean, look at this. I'm losing weight. And because I've just been out having too much fun. Anyway, on that note, have fun, y'all. But try and keep it in check. Everything in moderation, I would say. And there's a little, you know, tip for ISIS. Moderation, just moderation. Folks, keep it real. Keep it safe. Be happy, be lucky, and mind how you go. And I'm going to see y'all. Ooh, ah.